"Your Honor, he attacked me in the parking lot." That's what Karen screamed in court, tears streaming down her perfectly dry cheeks. The judge leaned forward. The crowd gasped. And for a moment, it seemed like I was done for. But then, I reached into my pocket, and pulled out the tiny flash drive that would change everything. You won't believe how one entitled woman tried to ruin my life, and how one piece of hidden footage turned the entire courtroom upside down. My name is Alex. I manage a small electronics store in a quiet town, nothing fancy, just shelves of routers, cables, and HDMI switches. It was a Wednesday afternoon, and I had just finished my lunch when I saw a silver SUV parked crookedly across two handicapped spots, no badge, no permit, just entitlement. I walked outside to place a reserved cone back in position, hoping to avoid a confrontation. That's when I met Karen. Mid-40s, designer sunglasses, fake tan, and attitude dialed up to 11. She stormed out of her car holding a tiny dog in one arm and a frappuccino in the other. "Who do you think you are touching my car?" she snapped. I calmly explained the parking rule, that we reserve those spots for disabled customers, and she wasn't displaying a permit. "I was just grabbing something real quick," she growled. "Mind your own business." I backed off. I didn't want drama. But then she took it further. She walked into my store, marched past the register, and knocked over a shelf of portable speakers. "Oops," she smirked. I asked her to leave. She screamed harassment. I thought that was the end of it, but oh no, that was just the beginning. The next morning, 2 police officers showed up at my store. "We're here regarding a complaint of physical assault," one said. "Wait, what?" Apparently, Karen had filed a police report claiming I shoved her to the ground in the parking lot. She even had bruises as evidence. I was stunned. There were no cameras outside the building, our security budget was tight, and I had no witnesses. The officers were polite, but it was clear they had to take the report seriously. I was issued a court date. For assault. Word spread fast. A local Facebook group started speculating. My landlord called, asking about the incident. Customers started dropping off. I even got a 1-star Google review, "Owner beats up women." All because of a lie. My friends told me to settle. "Just pay the fine," they said. "It's not worth the stress." But I couldn't. I knew I was innocent. So I prepared for court. And that's when fate stepped in. A week before the hearing, my cousin Jay dropped by. He's a tech nerd like me, always tinkering with gadgets. As I vented about the situation, he paused. "Wait a sec," he said. "Didn't I leave that prototype dashcam in your car last month?" I blinked. My car had been parked facing the lot that day. If the angle was right. We rushed outside. I pulled the SD card and loaded the footage on my laptop. There it was. Crystal clear. Wide angle. Time-stamped. Karen parking illegally. Me speaking calmly. Karen knocking over the cone, flipping me off, and walking away, completely unharmed. Then, get this, 5 minutes later, she came back, laid down in the parking lot, and started yelling for help. Jay and I stared at the screen in silence. "Dude," he whispered. "You've got her. Dead to rights." I copied the footage to a flash drive. This wasn't just defense. This was justice. Court was surreal. Karen arrived with full makeup and a sling on her arm. She fake-limped to her seat and sat next to her smirking attorney. The judge entered. We all stood. Testimonies began. Karen sobbed through her story. He yelled at me, then he shoved me. I fell hard. "Look at this bruise." She showed photos, purple blotches that looked suspiciously like stage makeup. Her lawyer painted me as a hot-headed business owner with a vendetta against women. My lawyer stood and nodded. Then, calmly, she addressed the judge. We have video evidence, Your Honor. Dated, time-stamped, and unedited. We played the footage. Gasps filled the courtroom. Karen's face turned sheet white. Her lawyer tried to object, but the judge waved it off. Is this you in the footage, ma'am? The judge asked. Karen stammered. I don't remember. The judge wasn't buying it. He banged his gavel. Case dismissed. Defendant is cleared of all charges. Bailiff, please escort this woman for perjury questioning. Karen exploded. This is a setup. That's not real. He's editing stuff. It's AI. Too late. The courtroom audience began whispering. Some even laughed. The bailiff took her gently by the arm. In the days that followed, the story hit local news. Small business owner cleared by hidden camera footage. Woman falsely accuses man, caught by tech nerd cousin. My store's reviews flooded with support. Sales picked up again. Even the mayor came by and shook my hand. Karen was charged with filing a false police report and attempting to defraud the court. And me? I learned 2 things. 1. Never underestimate the power of truth. 2. Always let your cousin install weird gadgets in your car. Now I keep 3 cameras running, just in case. Because in a world full of Karens, sometimes